Have you ever felt like the harder you try, the less effective you become? What if the key to achieving more is not about working harder, but about flowing with ease? Taoism introduces the concept of Wu Wei, or effortless action, which teaches us to accomplish great things by working in harmony with the natural flow of life. Wu Wei can be translated as doing without doing or effortless action. It doesn't mean being lazy or doing nothing. Instead, it's about aligning our actions with the natural rhythms of life so that everything feels smooth and natural. For example, think of a skilled swimmer who moves gracefully through the water. They don't fight against the current. Instead, they work with it, using minimal effort to achieve maximum results. Wu Wei teaches us to approach life the same way, by acting with awareness and ease, rather than forcing things. But how does this idea of effortless action work in practice? Isn't effort required to succeed? Taoism suggests that effort becomes counterproductive when it goes against the natural flow. For instance, a gardener who works with the seasons, planting in spring, harvesting in summer, achieves better results than one who tries to grow crops out of season. Similarly, in daily life, when we stop resisting or overthinking and let things unfold naturally, we often find solutions come more easily. This doesn't mean avoiding effort, but using it wisely and at the right time. This approach contrasts with the common belief that hard work and struggle are necessary for success. Many people are taught that effort and perseverance are the only paths to achievement. While determination has its place, Taoism reminds us that there is value in working smarter, not harder. Wu Wei invites us to find balance, avoiding unnecessary struggle and trusting the natural flow of life. By acting with awareness and ease, we often find that things fall into place more effectively than if we force them. But if we embrace effortless action, won't we risk becoming passive or unmotivated? Doesn't success require pushing through challenges? Taoism doesn't advocate passivity. Instead, it encourages us to act with precision and timing, like a skilled archer who waits for the perfect moment to release the arrow. Wu Wei isn't about avoiding challenges, but addressing them with clarity and without unnecessary struggle. By focusing on the right action at the right time, we conserve energy and achieve better outcomes while maintaining a sense of ease. In conclusion, the concept of Wu Wei teaches us to align our actions with the natural flow of life, reducing unnecessary struggle and achieving more with less effort. By trusting the rhythm of the world and acting with awareness, we can find greater success and peace. Next, we'll explore how balance and moderation in all things can help us live a harmonious and fulfilling life. Have you ever felt that life becomes overwhelming when things swing too far in one direction? What if the key to a fulfilling life lies in finding balance and avoiding extremes? Taoism teaches that moderation is essential for harmony, helping us to live with steadiness and peace. Taoism emphasizes the importance of balance and moderation in all aspects of life. Just as nature finds equilibrium, like the day balancing the night or summer giving way to winter, we too can find peace by avoiding excess and deficiency. For example, a person who eats too much or too little will struggle to feel healthy. Similarly, working too hard leads to burnout, while doing too little leads to stagnation. Moderation allows us to maintain steady energy, focus, and well-being. By finding the middle path, we create a life that feels sustainable and rewarding. But how can we find balance in a world that often encourages us to strive for more success, more wealth, or more excitement? Taoism suggests that balance requires awareness and self-reflection. For instance, if we notice that we're spending too much time on work and not enough with family, it's a sign to adjust our focus. Similarly, if we're indulging too much in pleasure or distraction, moderation invites us to create space for quiet and reflection. Balance isn't about giving up what we enjoy. It's about making sure no single aspect of life dominates the rest. This idea of moderation contrasts with the modern culture of excess, where more is often seen as better. Many people are taught to chase bigger achievements, faster results, or greater rewards, believing that this leads to happiness. However, Taoism reminds us that extremes often lead to instability. For example, overworking may bring short-term success, but can harm our health and relationships in the long run. By practicing moderation, we avoid these pitfalls and create a more balanced, enduring sense of fulfillment. But doesn't moderation risk leading to a dull or unambitious life? If we avoid extremes, how can we achieve greatness or enjoy life to the fullest? Taoism doesn't discourage ambition or enjoyment. It encourages us to pursue them mindfully. Moderation means knowing when to push forward and when to rest, ensuring that our efforts are sustainable. It's like tuning a musical instrument, too tight or too loose, and it won't play well. But the right tension creates beautiful harmony. By balancing effort and rest, indulgence and restraint, we can lead a life that feels vibrant and meaningful without being overwhelming. In conclusion, balance and moderation offer a path to harmony and steadiness, helping us avoid the stress of extremes and find peace in a sustainable way of living. By practicing awareness and seeking the middle path, we create space for joy, growth, and calm. Next, we'll explore how Taoism views the connection between the individual and the greater whole, showing that our personal actions are deeply tied to the world around us. Have you ever felt a deep connection to something bigger than yourself, like being part of a larger pattern or flow? What if understanding your role within the whole could bring you greater peace and purpose? Taoism teaches that the individual and the universe are deeply interconnected, with each part contributing to the balance of the whole. In Taoism, the individual is not separate from the greater whole, but an essential part of it. Just as a single drop of water contributes to the ocean, each person's actions influence the broader world. Nature provides countless examples of this connection. A tree's roots stabilize the soil, which helps other plants grow, creating a balanced ecosystem. Similarly, our choices and behaviors affect not only ourselves, but also those around us. By recognizing this connection, we can align our actions with the flow of the universe, living in harmony with the greater whole. But how does understanding this connection change the way we live? What practical difference does it make? Taoism suggests that when we see ourselves as part of a larger system, we act with more care and responsibility. For example, being mindful of how our daily habits affect the environment, like conserving water or reducing waste, helps create a healthier planet. On a personal level, understanding this connection can help us build stronger relationships, as we realize that our kindness and respect contribute to a more harmonious community. This awareness encourages us to make choices that benefit not just ourselves, but the world as a whole. This view challenges the idea that individuals exist in isolation, responsible only for their own lives. Many people focus on personal goals or success, sometimes overlooking how their actions affect others. Taoism reminds us that no one exists entirely apart. We are all interconnected, like threads in a larger fabric. While focusing on personal growth is important, understanding our role within the bigger picture helps us create a more balanced and cooperative world. This interconnectedness doesn't diminish individuality. It enriches it by showing how each person contributes to the harmony of the whole. But doesn't focusing too much on the greater whole risk losing sight of personal needs and ambitions? How can we balance individual desires with collective responsibility? Taoism teaches that these two aspects, individuality and connection, are not opposites but complementary. By understanding our place within the whole, we can pursue personal goals in a way that aligns with the greater good. For example, a person might follow their passion for innovation while considering how their work impacts society or the environment. This balance allows for personal fulfillment without sacrificing harmony with the world. In conclusion, the connection between the individual and the whole reminds us that our actions influence the world around us, and that living in harmony benefits both ourselves and the greater system. By embracing this understanding, we can act responsibly and with purpose, creating a more balanced life. Next, we'll explore the role of patience and timing in Taoist philosophy, showing how waiting for the right moment can lead to greater success and peace. Have you ever tried to force something to happen, only to realize later that waiting would have brought a better outcome? What if success and peace come not from rushing, but from acting at the right moment? Taoism emphasizes the value of patience and timing, teaching us to trust life's natural flow. In Taoism, patience and timing are essential qualities for living in harmony with the world. Instead of trying to control or rush events, Taoism encourages us to wait for the right moment to act. Think of a farmer planting seeds. They know that planting too early or too late will affect the harvest. so they carefully observe the seasons and act when the conditions are perfect. Similarly, in life, waiting for the right opportunity often leads to better results than forcing things before their time. Patience allows us to align with the natural rhythms of life, avoiding unnecessary stress and mistakes. But how can we practice patience in a fast-paced world where everything seems urgent? Isn't it hard to wait when there's pressure to act? Taoism suggests that patience isn't about doing nothing. It's about being aware and ready to act when the moment is right. For example, in solving a problem, rushing to find a solution might lead to errors, while waiting for more information or a clearer perspective can result in a better outcome. Patience teaches us to observe, reflect, and trust that the right time will come, reducing the anxiety that comes with feeling rushed. This idea challenges the modern belief that speed and quick action are always better. In many areas of life, people are encouraged to act fast, whether in decision-making, career advancement, or problem-solving. While decisiveness is valuable, Taoism reminds us that acting too quickly can lead to mistakes or missed opportunities. Patience and timing offer a counterbalance, helping us act with greater precision and awareness. By waiting for the right moment, we not only reduce stress, but also improve the chances of success, like a skilled archer waiting for the perfect time to release the arrow. But isn't there a risk of waiting too long? If we're too patient, won't we miss out on opportunities or fall behind? Taoism doesn't advocate endless waiting. It emphasizes being ready to act when the time is right. Patience doesn't mean inaction. It means aligning our actions with the natural flow of events. For instance, a person looking for a new job might wait for the right opportunity, but also prepare by improving their skills or networking. This balance ensures they're not rushing but also not passive, making them ready to act when the perfect moment arrives. In conclusion, patience and timing teach us the importance of waiting for the right moment to act, aligning our actions with life's natural flow. By practicing awareness and trusting the process, we can reduce stress and make better decisions. Next, we'll explore the Taoist idea of gentleness and how soft, subtle approaches often achieve more than forceful actions. Have you ever noticed how soft water can carve through hard rock over time? What if gentleness, often seen as weak, is actually one of the strongest forces in the world? Taoism teaches that gentleness and subtlety often achieve more than force or aggression. In Taoism, gentleness is seen as a powerful and transformative quality. Unlike brute strength, which forces its way forward, gentleness works quietly and effectively, often achieving results that strength cannot. Water is a classic example in Taoist teachings. Though soft and flexible, it can erode mountains and carve deep valleys over time. This shows that gentleness is not passive. It's persistent, adaptive, and strong in its own way. Whether in resolving conflicts or pursuing goals, a gentle approach often creates lasting and harmonious outcomes. But how can gentleness be more effective than strength? Isn't force needed to overcome challenges? Taoism suggests that gentleness works by adapting to the situation rather than resisting it. For example, in a heated argument, responding with calm words rather than anger can diffuse the tension and open the door to understanding. Similarly, a leader who guides their team with encouragement and empathy often inspires greater loyalty and productivity than one who rules with fear or aggression. Gentleness allows us to navigate challenges with grace, avoiding unnecessary resistance and conflict. This idea of gentleness challenges the common belief that strength and assertiveness are the best ways to achieve success. In many cultures, people admire those who are bold, decisive, and forceful, often equating these traits with power. While such qualities have their place, Taoism highlights the enduring effectiveness of gentleness. A gentle approach doesn't mean avoiding action. It means choosing actions that flow with the situation, like a river finding its path. This perspective helps us see that true power often lies in patience, understanding, and adaptability. But doesn't gentleness risk being seen as weakness or making us vulnerable to others? If we are too gentle, won't people take advantage of us? Taoism teaches that gentleness is not about being weak or submissive. It's about being resilient and wise. Just as water can wear down stone without breaking its flow, gentleness combines strength with adaptability. When used thoughtfully, Gentleness can deflect aggression and create solutions that force alone cannot. It's not about avoiding conflict, but handling it in a way that brings resolution rather than destruction. In conclusion, the power of gentleness lies in its ability to create change through persistence, adaptability, and understanding. By choosing gentle actions, we can achieve harmony and success without unnecessary resistance or harm. Next, we'll explore the Taoist view on the interconnectedness of all things, showing how every action we take ripples outward to affect the greater whole. Have you ever thrown a stone into a pond and watched the ripples spread outward? What if every action you take has a similar effect, influencing the world in ways you might not see? Taoism teaches that everything in life is deeply interconnected, and understanding this can help us live with more awareness and harmony. Taoism emphasizes that all things in the universe are connected, forming one continuous whole. Just as the roots of a tree draw nutrients from the soil to feed its leaves and branches, every action and decision we make affects others and the world around us. For example, a kind word can brighten someone's day, which might inspire them to pass kindness to another person. Similarly, negative actions can create a chain reaction of harm. By recognizing this interconnectedness, we can make choices that contribute to the balance and well-being of the greater whole. But how can understanding this interconnectedness change the way we live? What practical difference does it make? Taoism suggests that when we see ourselves as part of a larger web, we act with more care and responsibility. For instance, being mindful of how our consumption habits affect the environment helps us make more sustainable choices. On a personal level, understanding that our actions impact others encourages us to approach relationships with compassion and respect. This awareness deepens our connection to the world and helps us live in harmony with it. This idea contrasts with the common view that individuals are separate and should focus mainly on their own goals. Many people live as though their actions affect only themselves, often overlooking the ripple effects of their choices. Taoism reminds us that no one exists in isolation. Every person and action is part of a larger system. Recognizing this interconnectedness helps us see the value of cooperation and mutual care, leading to more balanced and peaceful communities. It shifts our focus from self-centered thinking to a broader perspective of shared responsibility. But doesn't focusing too much on interconnectedness risk losing sight of personal needs or individuality? Isn't it important to prioritize our own well-being? Taoism teaches that caring for oneself and caring for the whole are not opposites but complementary. By taking care of ourselves, our health, happiness, and peace, we are better able to contribute positively to the world. Likewise, by nurturing the greater whole, we create an environment that supports our own growth and well-being. It's a cycle. The individual supports the whole, and the whole supports the individual. In conclusion, understanding the interconnectedness of all things helps us see the impact of our actions and encourages us to live with greater mindfulness and compassion. By recognizing that we are part of a larger whole, we can make choices that benefit both ourselves and the world. Next, we'll explore how Taoism views the nature of leadership, showing that the best leaders are those who serve with humility and care. What makes a great leader? Is it someone who commands attention and gives orders, or someone who quietly guides and supports? Taoism teaches that the best leaders are those who lead with humility, creating harmony and empowering others rather than seeking personal glory. In Taoism, leadership is not about controlling or dominating others, but about serving and enabling them to succeed. A Taoist leader acts like water, supporting life and finding its way without force or resistance. For example, a good leader in a team project might focus on understanding the strengths of each team member, providing support where needed, and creating an environment where everyone feels empowered to contribute. By working in the background and avoiding the spotlight, such a leader ensures the group thrives, and their guidance feels natural and seamless. But how does this style of leadership work in practice? Doesn't a leader need to be more assertive to get results? Taoism suggests that effective leadership comes from aligning with the natural flow of the group. By listening carefully, understanding others' needs, and providing subtle guidance, a leader builds trust and cooperation. For instance, a teacher who inspires students by encouraging their curiosity rather than enforcing strict rules often sees better engagement in learning. This approach allows people to grow and succeed because they feel supported, not pressured. This Taoist view contrasts with the traditional image of a leader as someone who takes charge and makes all the decisions. In many cultures, leadership is associated with authority, control, and a commanding presence. While these qualities can be effective in certain situations, Taoism points out that they may also create tension or resistance. A humble and supportive leader, on the other hand, encourages collaboration and fosters a sense of shared purpose. This softer approach often leads to more sustainable and harmonious results, as people feel more invested in their work and connected to their leader. But doesn't being too humble risk making a leader seem weak or ineffective? Don't leaders need to show strength to maintain respect? Taoism teaches that true strength lies in humility and adaptability. A leader who listens and supports is not weak. They are wise and resilient. By prioritizing the needs of the group over their own ego, they earn respect and loyalty. For example, a CEO who acknowledges the efforts of their employees and shares credit for success builds a motivated team that respects their leadership. Strength doesn't always mean being forceful. It can also mean being understanding and steady. In conclusion, the Taoist perspective on leadership emphasizes humility, service, and natural guidance. By focusing on the needs of others and leading without force, great leaders create harmony and empower those they lead. This approach not only strengthens relationships, but also produces lasting and meaningful success, showing that true leadership is about serving, not commanding.